Hello, how to write a book. Let's get stuck straight in today. And today's topic is all about a trap. And I hear you say, well, what trap is it? Well, it's a very common trap. It's a trap that just about every writer has fallen into at one time or another. And the trap is this. It's about trying to be creative and critical at the same time. In fact, it's almost impossible to be creative and critical at the same time. Psychologists do a lot of work on this and about the two sides of your brain and so on. But in practical terms, I think we all know it really. So let's just have a closer look, should we? When you're in the flow writing and it's coming along nicely, the worst thing you can do is stop or hesitate. So you might be aware, most of us are, that while you're writing, you are making the odd mistake here and there, or even might be not getting it as right as you aware you need it to be. But don't stop. Keep going. Keep the flow going. The creative process will keep going, and you'll recover from the odd glitch and get the whole thing together and produce a lot of good material. It won't be perfect, of course. It never is first time. And do all that, and then when you get to the end of that creative blast that you've got, that's the time to make the switch. And you can switch from being creative to being critical. When I say being critical, I mean looking critically at what you've produced and thinking about what's wrong with it, and then making obvious corrections, and then doing some serious editing. But do it as a separate task. Don't just try and mix that up with a creative process, because if you do try to analyze stuff while you're writing, you often end up with something that's not very good actually, because you're not really putting the right effort into that creative bit. And it can be even worse than that. And you hear people saying they've got writer's block, and often they're sort of trying to oscillate between creative and critical. Obviously the first thing to do is to be creative, so you've got something to be critical of, but this is the way to do it. Oscillate between the two, but don't do them both at the same time. Next time you're writing, try to be aware of this. And even if you are already aware of it, be more conscious of it and just go with that flow when you're being creative, and promise yourself that later you'll go back and have a really good critical look and make the stuff even better. If you want any more help, advice, guidance, or you'd like to follow what we've got here, then this is where to get information from us, from theendlessbookcase.com. And if you're if you're liking what we're covering here and how to write a book, then why not subscribe? It's down there. Well, it's actually down there. You can click on subscribe. A lot of people don't realize that subscribing is free. There's no charge if you subscribe. And if you click on the bell, you also then get notified when new material comes along. You can always unsubscribe or unclick on reminders if it doesn't suit you. Just to be clear, I tend to put out these how to write a book items one a week, starting at the beginning of 2020. I've got a lot of material planned, quite varied. I don't suppose it'll all appeal to you, but hopefully some of it will be useful. And do let others know if you wouldn't mind. So next week we'll have another topic on how to write a book. Bye for now.